Hi, my name is Justin Lara, and this video is about the engine of a Cessna 172 Skyhawk. The engine system can be described using the acronym LHAND. This stands for Lycoming, Horizontally Opposed, Air-Cooled, Naturally Aspirated, Direct Drive. Lycoming is a company that produces these engines. The specific model is India Oscar Tech 360 Tech Lima 2 Alpha. It is rated at 180 horsepower at 2,700 revolutions per minute and is fuel injected. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk has a 4-cylinder engine with each cylinder placed in a horizontally opposed fashion. In each cylinder, air and fuel burn in a 4-stroke cycle. The 4 strokes are intake, compression, combustion, and exhaust. This causes a piston to move up and down. The up and down movement is what causes the rotational movement of the crankshaft. The engine is air-cooled. This means unlike many car engines, it does not utilize a radiator or liquid coolant. This diagram from the Pilot Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge is a great visual of how air-cooled engines work. Air enters in front of the engine cowling. It is then directed by baffles to the hottest parts of the engine, primarily the cylinders. It then exits through an opening underneath the cowling. The engine is naturally aspirated, meaning it does not utilize a turbocharger or supercharger. The air flows through a filter covering the intake to remove any dirt or dust. The air then travels through the intake manifold to the cylinders. If the intake is blocked, an alternate air door will open, providing unfiltered air to the motor. If this door opens, there will be a 10% loss of power at max RPM. The 172 has a direct drive motor. This means the crankshaft is directly connected to the propeller. Non-direct drive planes utilize a gearbox, usually to make the propeller turn slower than the motor. However, in the Cessna 172, the propeller turns at the exact same RPM as the crankshaft. Although LHAND covers most important aspects of the engine, there are a few other parts worth noting. The ignition system provides the spark for combustion in each cylinder. The Cessna 172 ignition system utilizes 2 engine-driven magnetos and 2 spark plugs in each cylinder. The right magneto fires the lower right and upper left spark plugs. The left magneto fires the upper right and lower left spark plugs. This system allows for better efficiency due to a more complete burning of fuel and air, and better redundancy in case one magneto fails. Normal operation should be conducted with the ignition switch in the both position. The engine utilizes a wet sump lubrication system using aviation grade oil as lubricant. Oil also assists with cooling by dispersing heat. The capacity of the sump is 8 quarts. The oil is drawn from the sump through a strainer to a bypass valve by an engine-driven pump. If the oil is cold, it will bypass the oil cooler and go direct to the full flow oil filter. However, if it is hot, it is led to the oil cooler before going to the full flow oil filter. The oil then enters the pressure relief valve, where excess oil is allowed to return back to the sump. The oil then is dispersed throughout the motor for lubrication before returning to the sump by gravity. Inside the cockpit, there are various controls and instruments for the engine. Mixture adjusts the air-to-fuel ratio. Power adjusts the RPMs. The tachometer indicates RPMs of both the motor and propeller in increments of 100 RPM. It also shows an hour meter indicating elapsed engine time. Oil pressure and temperature are shown on the left instrument panel. If oil pressure becomes low, a red oil pressure annunciator will appear. The EGT indicator, also on the left panel, shows exhaust gas temperature. This changes with mixture and aids in adjusting the mixture for best fuel efficiency. These are my sources, and thank you for watching my video on the Cessna 172 engine.